Today, we're going to be invading. Unfortunately for you, it's going to be in San Francisco, as we play a little Watch Dogs 2. I promised to show off some more in-depth commentary about what I like in these invasions, and here we are. Let's get into them. But before we go any further though, we need to address the elephant in the room. Activision Blizzard, one of the biggest gaming developers in the industry, has been sued for harassment and discrimination in the workplace. There's more going on there, but that's the short and skinny of it. Now what does this lawsuit have to do with an Ubisoft-made video game? Well, it has everything to do with it, because earlier this year, Ubisoft had a misconduct scandal with their Singapore-based studio. There were details about toxic culture, sexual harassment, and racial pay disparity, where even after the scandal revealed these issues, the accused studio lead wasn't fired completely, but instead was moved back to Ubisoft's HQ in Paris. There are more details about both the lawsuit and the scandal in links I'll provide in the description below, but the point is, our game developers deserve so much better. The game developers who genuinely care about making a fun and worthwhile game and have to deal with stuff like this, the game developers who are victims of these issues and have been for years, decades, both in AAA studios, in the indie scene, and everywhere in between. I hope, with every fiber of my being, that the folks in charge who have either caused or perpetuated this hostile work culture will get tossed and replaced sooner rather than later. Remember how, in the past couple of years, how CD Projekt Red had reports of massive crunch culture? Or what about Naughty Dog or Rockstar? These articles are about the studios that we know have issues. The writing on the wall tells us that the gaming industry is more rotten to the core than some folks would like to believe, right? Look at what your favorite games are and who made them, and wonder to yourself if this culture of blatantly disregarding the safety, health, and dignity of its workers affects those devs as well. Odds are, it does. But now the question is, what can we do? What can the nerds who actually play these games do? From the players who buy games every so often when their paycheck comes in, to the secret whales who spend everything on sales or gotchas. One of the best things we can do is to be aware. Aware and informed. Pay attention to the issues that have been plaguing the industry, and especially pay attention to this Activision Blizzard lawsuit. Hopefully, this lawsuit is one of the bigger turning points for the culture in the gaming industry. And hopefully, we can see some genuine progress in our lifetime. Because with that being said, I would like to thank game developers for actually making games. Y'all very much have a thankless job. Either players will complain about the smallest details or for the most asinine reasons, sending harassment their way. We've seen it over the years what players can do when they're mad about the smallest of scruples, right? And on the other side, management in the industry seemingly wants to work game developers until there's nothing left to squeeze out of them. So for those devs out there who continue to work and make games in this industry, I see you. I want the best for you. I hope more people feel that way. Here's to change, and how it hasn't come soon enough. All right, now unloading that off the truck. Invasions. We're gonna open this video with me getting invaded this time. That's right. How does it look to be invaded in this game? Here I am, you can see me doing one of the countless side activities where we're taking selfies at very important locations in Watch Dogs 2. And just like that, an invasion alert pops up. It tells you what the rewards are. I'm already in this hacker vision. I see who the NPCs all around me, the purple silhouettes. I'm looking for someone out of the ordinary, and I spot them nearly instantaneously right there. And as soon as I get a feed on him, now I'm chasing him down. I want to go for the melee kill right now. He dives and ducks into a car, pull him right out. Then he dives and ducks away. And then I say, hey, that's enough. And I shoot him down. Now, let's actually go back and break down this a little bit more. How is I able to get this feller so quickly? So while you're in hacker vision, you get to see everybody, well, in line of sight of you. As you play this game, you get used to what NPCs act, how they act, and what they do. Seeing a purple silhouette duck and dive behind a van is pretty suspicious behavior, so I move the van, almost running him over. Somehow moving the van backwards also set it on fire as I'm chasing this feller down. And he didn't have an alternative plan. He didn't go into another car. He decided that going out into an open field was a good idea.
Yo, what's good?
At least that's the end of that for now. And quickly, let's look at another time I was invaded over here on the Golden Gate Bridge itself, where the first invader had a bit of an understanding of how the invasion system in this game worked. They knew to hide, they knew to run away when they got caught. It's sad to say, but a majority of invaders that have invaded me do not know to do that. Instead, this person comes riding up to me, shooting at me, thinking that their mission is to kill me, not hide, not run away, and for that, he gets beaten over the head. Don't do that.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Now let's actually have an example of an invader who knew exactly what to do. Here I am, I'm trying to do, again, one of the side activities in the open world of, I believe I was trying to do one of the graffiti side activities in Watch Dogs 2, and so I'm moving one of these giant cranes to lower it down for me to get onto it so I can get onto a rooftop that was further away. The invasion happens, bang, and now I have to stop immediately what I'm doing to go into the purple circle in which the invader had begun the invasion. And this is typically what it looks like when you get into your drone, looking down on all the potential suspects in purple, finding whoever your person is. And you have to be careful and search all nooks and crannies around, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Trying to find all the little hidden spots, especially if there's verticality, if there's multiple levels in the invasion area. You have to search all of them, and you have to search them quick because time is not on your side. And I'm paying attention to the silhouettes, seeing if one of them moves incorrectly or not so smoothly, checking the cars. Checking cars is also especially difficult because they could be playing it rather straight. And I'm getting worried here because now we're halfway through, and at least from first glance, this person is seemingly nowhere. And I begin thinking to myself, okay, wait, I've been checking the outer sides, I've been checking the fringes of the invasion area. What if this person is a lot closer to the center than I think they are? Checking the cars now. Oh wait, there's someone in that car right there. Boom, there they are. And really quickly, gonna stop it right here. Something else that I noted was this person was a diamond rank invader, which means that this person knows a thing or two about invading, or at least has spent a lot of time doing it. But oftentimes, spending a lot of time doing invasions isn't enough to get you out of a bad situation, and he gets riddled to death. GG's to this player. They put themselves in a rather difficult situation. Tried to drive out of there while facing me head on with a gun. Here's something key that I'll be showing in the rest of the invasions. You need 3 key ingredients to winning an invasion in Watch Dogs 2, and that's distance, verticality, and cover. With here, there are now 2 cooperators that I have to deal with. And what's key is that you can initiate a hacking invasion with your aerial drone. But when you initiate the hack, it still places the center of the circle by where your player is, where Marcus is. So what I wanted to try to do here was get as close as I could to this duo and initiate the invasion circle while in this gang affiliated area, because the gang members here will open fire on the duo while I attempt to hide amongst them, potentially giving me cover, giving me time, giving me distraction while the invasion timer goes down. I end up trying to find a hiding spot here, but then realizing to myself that this spot is actually pretty bad. Uh-oh. Here they come. I am absolutely floored how they either weren't able to spot me or maybe didn't know to detect me as I practically ran in front of them with the fence. But then I thought to myself, I'm just going to put the entirety of this gang hideout in between me and the duo. Potentially even go into the car so that way I have a fast exit strategy in case they do spot me. But as far as these 2 know, I'm amongst the gang here. And while they're taking them on, this is where you, the invader, can work up some nefarious deeds with your hacking abilities. And that's what I do, is I move the car to run one of them over. I get the notification that I can't kill or hurt the targets. You only get one of those notifications before, if you do it a second time, it ends the invasion. You effectively lose it. You don't even get any rewards if you continue to hurt or kill the host or hosts. But you can at least do it the one time. So that's what I did, was to at least disrupt the duo. I'm going to use my 1 freebie card to at least hurt them, put the fear of God in them, whatever your terminology, distract them while the timer is going down. And here, towards the end, the invasion ends, and I get some celebratory pictures of them in their outfits to see if they're to see how their fashion game has been holding up in this. Taking pictures is definitely a form of BM, especially if you send those pictures to the person you invaded. No, actually at that point that just becomes stalking. Don't do that. Moving on to this next one, when it comes to invasions in Watch Dogs 2, or perhaps invasions in any type of game, especially in Soulsborne, there are the types of invasions that are, for all intents and purposes, mediocre. Either the players don't know how to play, they don't have the equipment necessary to take you on, or they are AFK, or they try to ignore you, totally disregard your existence as they go about their own game. While that still definitely exists in Watch Dogs 2, in between this one and the real sweaty invasions where you have 2 players who know what they're doing, who are trying to find each other, there are what I like to call the Goldilocks of invasions, the real wacky ones, the ones that you really don't know what you're going to get. What I said earlier about the 3 ingredients to winning an invasion: distance, verticality, and cover. If you can start an invasion by using your drone to draw someone like 150 meters over, that's time that they need to spend getting into the circle rather than search for you. Verticality. As I'm going into this building, the noodle office, I'm deciding to go up a level. It's not much of a level to go up on, but it's still enough to have the high ground, so to speak, to have that additional depth that the player needs to account for, the host needs to account for, before they can even find you. And the last final ingredient, cover. I have now placed 1 or 2 walls in between me and the host so that they need to look behind additional obstacles in order to find me, but also I have additional exit options to try and escape this player from. And what this player ends up doing is shooting grenade launchers into a campus crowd trying to find where I was. This is that wackiness I was talking about earlier. What these players try to do, or what their first instinct to do, is some of the most nonsensical. I don't know how to describe it. It's as if they're playing a GTA game, but they're not.
This is squad. Air support is approved and inbound.
One small hack of his car spooked this player enough to have him shoot his own car, killing himself. That is hilarious. That is funny, and that is an Invasion 1. On the flip side of that, what does an invasion look like when you're sweating it out? Here we're gonna start just driving down the street as I not initiate the invasion at first. This is actually one of those points where I want to get information on who the target is. And right there, we see that this person is a diamond rank. A diamond rank. So, you heard earlier in the video, someone else was a diamond rank. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that they're particularly skilled. Ranks don't equate skill. They just equal playtime. If you play enough in any of the activities in this game, you will get higher ranks based on the amount of points you get. But even if you play terribly, you could still get high ranks in this game. So, when you see a diamond rank, my first instinct is, okay, this person willingly plays invasions, most likely as an invader. So that means that this person knows a thing or two about using their drone, knows a thing or two about checking cover. They're gonna know more than the average bear, so to speak. Now my game plan at the moment is to try to find, again, distance, verticality, and cover. And luckily, this player positions themselves close to this station, this multi-layered station. Now, what happened here? As I sent out my drone, the host positioned themselves right next to a steam pipe, which I was able to blow up, disabling their car completely, and then initiate the invasion right after that. By doing that, the player now needs to get out of the car, find a different car, and then proceed to try to find wherever the hell that I am. Which, now placing myself on the 3rd level of this 3-level station, I have practically put myself in the best possible spot for a win. And now my game plan is simply surveillance, providing recon, hopefully putting my drone in the best possible position to not be seen. Right here, we get jam commed. Now, this is an ability that all players can have. They can jam phones of NPCs around in an area, getting them all to answer their phone, for instance. But what's key here is that jam comms can also disable players' drones. So when he did that, this player also sent up their drone, and I had to jam comms them back. But this time, shooting out their drone completely. When you shoot out any of the drones that a player has, that drone goes on a cooldown timer. This player will get it back before the invasion is over, but he's gonna have little time to find me. So the player now needs to just use the car and have visual confirmation that I am somewhere, which is a lot more difficult. Ooh. By just jumping over the edge, barely getting caught, the player then decides it was a good idea to go over the barrier to come back down to the first level because the player thinks that I'm down on the first level rather than the third. They made the wrong move, and that's another GG right there. It got very close there at the end, but through a careful use of the hacking abilities, shooting out each other's drones, I think if that player just looked left as they were making that corner, they would have found me. Hindsight is 2020. And with this last one, we have another duo by another peer-centered area. One of my biggest mistakes with coming to this area was I didn't really get a grip on where to position myself. I start the invasion center on the highway, which is, let me just say this now, not a particularly best place to start an invasion. Part of my reasoning to start it here, though, was because the players were beginning to go on the move, and I kind of wanted to grab them in the midst of them leaving to almost juke them out, to get them to come back to where they were previously. But in hindsight, it being 2020 and all, may not have been the best play because my position now is not the best that it could potentially be. Now I'm here behind a restroom as the two players are going around the shopping district here. I hope the bitrate holds up here as I try to zoom in on where these two players are. As an invader, you can see where the hosts are by using your hacker vision, but vice versa, the players actually need to make eye contact with you. Right here, I spotted one of their drones and I tried to shoot it out, but this was back during a time when I didn't know about jam comms being one of the abilities that you could use. And I sprayed and prayed this silenced weapon up into the air trying to take it out. And I did, but now I'm pretty sure these hosts could see where the tracers came from. And here they come. Ooh. One above, one right next to me.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
And I think just at this point, bust out the drone, try to see where that second person is. He's no longer up top. No, both of them are now by the store over here to the side. And just like that, one very brief cover change was able to get this win out when, theoretically speaking, these two players were doing everything right. They were getting both the higher level and the lower level at the same time. They could have pincered me, spotted me, and riddled me to bits. But in the end, because the player on the ground and simultaneously the player above didn't check all of the cover at the same time, another close one. These invasions are particularly fun. I hope y'all have been enjoying how these invasions are, because I definitely have been enjoying how these invasions are. If y'all would like to see more, speak up in the comments. I hope the gaming industry turns around. I hope the lawsuit with Activision and Blizzard goes well. Goes well for the people that need it. For those of y'all that have been watching up to this point, I'd like to thank you. Here's the game developers, and for them getting better. Hope y'all have a great day, and have a good night. I'll see y'all the next time. Take care. Peace.